시작해봐야겠지. 지난번에 뭐 버그가 나가지고 이게 안 보였었는데 이제 보이네.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars, gone. For you to discover someone who knows about it.
일단 뭐 이벤트부터 아는 것 좀 해봐야겠지. 아줌마가 남편을 찾아달라 했고 그게 아래쪽이었을게요. 그죠? 얼음이 얼어있네 바다에.
Yes?
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock. Keep it, whatever it is, the goat milk butter. It's an acquired taste. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor.
동력마차가
These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier.
아 쳐박고 가서 일로
The
왔다고.
whirling side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling. The black marks on the roof indicate that the panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the air, hit. The sign broke the Samaran butter billboard within the past. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into... There are two good candidates. It's about the right size. The Caprice 40 is a very popular model with bank clerks. Very sturdy, but the Linear G22, you'd have to follow the tracks to... The lieutenant looks up.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. Oh. The traffic hooliganism? I hope not. Fortunately, we are not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder?
You've thought of a very
Aye.
touching story. It's shit, though. Well, you're in luck then. Yes, no, it's shit.
Yes, that could very well have been it. Yes?
얘한테 한 번 더 물어보자.
You see rows of toy soldiers. The boomboxes wait on the shelves.
If police work mean
A typical Martinez street light.
야, 위에 그거 차
Hello
지나갔던데
again.
아는 거 있나?
How can I help you?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light while the mind continues to race forward. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. I've had to take it.
He's taking it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator, a primitive nuclear reactor. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. Needless to say, an emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure
We were an all-volunteer force.
on the patch. Gamma radiation.
I lived by the river since I was a small. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. There's a reason why everyone's tried. So much disappointment. No one's. A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive The cleanup happened before, so I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, I like the theory more.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, man.
Traffic. I'm sorry, officer, but now that I think about it, I do
그래, 그거.
remember.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Traffic. I just don't like now that I.
That sure narrows down our list of...
Jacob O.
Do you think it may have been...
It's a logical explanation. Traffic. Now that I.
That sure narrows...
He shakes his head.
You said you.
The lieutenant steps. He won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Here you go, man. Of course. Someone else came here earlier today.
This is a pawn shop, and it did. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
이걸 또
Alert.
얘기했다고 또 사기 떨어지다.
You and I don't like keeping my apart.
A needle in a haystack.
Sure, man.
일단 알았다. 일단 여기 건너갈 방식은 없어졌고, 그러면 잠입하는 쪽으로 가서 얘기를 해봐야겠구만.
Lowman, you caught me. Of course not.
The Boyadero, Boya for short.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. Of course not. The boyadero
In the background, you can hear the orchestra sweat.
So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the maggot. Then he rides off. You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon. Did you just call me a lady, Jerife? I'm not that either, Jerife. I've gone too far from it all. I'm only terrifying to small children.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the big ones, in the middle?
You feel very cold. In the background, a quiet.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. How should I know? Oh, Sim.
She's just a
So he doesn't.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spend.
nothing.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here.
Oh, don't. The monos of
A terrible cold comes.
the Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. At Estradas do Mirador. Oh, you're right, Lowman.
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
일단 갑시다. 얘는 아니고 그 여자가
A star's Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk made not many people outside of Grad.
Estash Raiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted.
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund.
An old case for my precinct. A couple of Jim's migrants saw a Staj Raiko stopped in the street. Painted just... They said it was an honor killing. Husa.
Correction, 4,395, the fourth largest public protest.
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. 4 years for murder in The perps were remorseful.
The prisons in the greater Revachol industrial harbor are already full.
Could it be another Staj Raiko murder? Honestly, that just doesn't seem like... Yes, detective? You sure you're not Jimsk?
Yes, you're sure you're not. A lorry stuck in the windows are clear. They've been recent. Right to work! Right!
얘기를 어떻게
Hold up, Wandering Man. Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Probably not. I wouldn't even, you know.
He's a chatty guy.
야, 내 왔다. 말이 내보자.
betrayed.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admired? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow. That is precisely. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company. Yeah,
He means alcohol.
correct. My small Al-Ghul is an ancient
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for.
servitude to Al-Ghul does not explain everything. There are. No, you don't. You need to get on.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Look at my craniology. I am the pinnacle. You gave the world eugenics. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably You will be.
It is, baby.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough. Bring your troops to the city walls. Will be lined with
미친
bottles
새끼고
of
이거.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshached's race.
한번 해보라고?
He would take you as one of his own. Well, not as such. What you do with the mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced. He does not so much as glance at.
Stop.
He had nothing to do with it.
I am not the first line of defense.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like it.
뭐?
Fine. They have recently
나왔네.
fallen under the influence
방랑자
of
여성과
possibly
마약
sexually
밀매상의 영향을 받고
perverted.
있다.
Find out.
Interesting.
Racists are generally.
Welcome to Revachol. He must think redheads are.
I am not like them. I am.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
뭐 이거 말했다가 그냥 쳐맞을 것 같은데. 나 너무 몸이 족밥인데 지금.
You exhibit forward project. It is impossible. This leads me to conclude your racial heritage is uninterrupted.
The man.
You are not Santiago. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do. Mr. Claire is a man of vision and means. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your pet jam, individualism. You have gotten these offshoots of this. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of us. What you need is to come to terms with
I think this racist is better than the last. But
That will be the.
they're all.
race is reality.
We still need to get into the harbor.
한 대만 쳐보자.
Your race descent has
씨발놈아.
only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
How did this happen?
You must be out of your mind.
조까.
Fist.
The words to the song have good. Now leave
한번 해보자.
before you humiliate your.
F8, F9. 한 번만 해보자. 한 번만. 8%면은 몇 번 하면 안 되겠나? 10번.
Your race
야,
descent has
뚝배기.
only worsened
개새끼 뚝배기.
since I last saw you. You have really
으악.
let yourself go.
How did this happen?
You must be out of your mind. Good. Now leave before you humiliate.
한 번 더, 한 번 더.
Your race descent has only worsened since I
뚝배기.
last saw you. You have
아,
really
개 허접
let
새끼.
yourself go.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand and he's squeezing it.
You must be out of your mind.
Your fist cracked.
The words to the song have
Your hand.
good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic.
세발 다시.
Your race descent has only
마.
worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
이렇게 불러야 되겠네.
Your race
마.
descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. race descent has only worsened.
아
since
그냥 한 대
last
맞아.
saw you. You have really let yourself go. Your race descent has only worsened
씨발로 하지
since I
마라.
last saw you. You have really
아 내가
let
총을 들고
yourself
왔었으면은
go. How did this happen? You
생각해보니까 총 들고 왔었으면 이 새끼 쏠 수 있었을라나? 내가 아직 총 못 찾았는데. 응? 잠깐만.
Your race descent has only worsened since
물리적 수단 2. 야 있어봐. 내 스탯 좀 안 남나? (1만) 올려보자. 그리고 나면 몇 펀데?
your race descent has
17%.
only worsened
이거
since I
이렇게 가자. 마이 새끼야.
How
오케이 17%. 17% 정도면 도전할 만하다. 수락 F5 세이브하고. 이 개 허접 새끼들 너가 씨발 잘 봐라.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself
내가 17%의 남자다. 나 씨발 좀 근데 좀 나와 손.
Your race descent has
마.
only worsened since I last saw
이렇게
you.
싸움을 잘하나?
You have really let yourself go.
닌 뒤에서 구경하고 많어. 이 17%가 이렇게 안 된다고.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
아니 그거 좀 카츠라기 새끼야 좀 같이 좀 하자.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
아니 일로 와봐.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have
아니.
really let yourself go.
아니 그 17%고 나발이고 지금 내가 트라이 몇 번을 했는데
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself.
아니 이건 너무하잖아. 내가 지금 트라이 몇 번째인데.
how did
확률적으로 말이 맞나 이거? 어?
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
how
심지어 11 뜬 건 뭐고?
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let
와
yourself
진짜
go.
혹시 옷 없나? 그래 하나 더 입어보고. 이런 거 제대로.
Your race descent has
그래,
only
그래.
worsened since I last saw you.
이번엔
You have
28%다.
really let yourself
28%라고.
go.
4번 중에 한 번이라고. 아니 이 새끼야 이게 맞냐. 기다려봐 내가 딱 옷만 입고. 닌 뒤졌다.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
내가
You have
탱크 투어 히어로다
really let
새끼야.
yourself
아니 28%잖아.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in.
Your race descent has only worsened
색깔
since
바뀌었다.
I
초록색이다.
last saw you.
이 씨발놈아.
You have really let yourself go.
아니 뭐 되나?
Just like that,
오.
instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft. The man is reeling, gasping. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip.
이 상태면 그대로 올려쳐야지. 얼굴 내려왔잖아.
Oh God, wrong move.
Say it. I am a degenerate drunk.
You were, but then you made a wrong move, and now your skull feels like it's about to. The compression.
You are a poor player of physical chess.
아니 얼굴이 내려왔으면은 심지어 이거 뚫고 다시 이제 펀치 말고.
Your race descent has only worsened
또 됐다.
since I last saw you.
땡이
You have really let yourself.
이걸 킥하는 게 맞나?
Just like that.
아닌
The
같은데.
man, all you hear is a small gurgling sound.
야 이게 킥이라고?
The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To
뭔지
your
모르겠다.
ears, you
디스코
slam your
인페르노
fist.
Looks
씨발놈아.
like you're the new measurehead now.
No one is the new measurehead.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you from a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam with
Action
a sudden flash.
fucker.
The wo-
에이 족밥 새끼야 깝치지 마라 알겠나?
is- The man.
나약한 새끼들.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing. Calling. Still
Video Reversal, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and...
the voice of a youngster on the other end.
Video Reversal is a 24-hour video rental. Sir, I don't know. It's a no. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to? If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you.
On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on tiny hills tiptoeing down the road. The call is
비디오 레버 쇼.
the payphone hangs. On second glance,
It's unfortunate for the Union.
the drawer opens with hundreds of documents containing logistic and the same materials being. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try. Whatever's
Oi,
hidden
변해,
here
이걸.
is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. It appears to be. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes.
에브라트
Special
슈즈.
whirling borscht. Water Everart. All items on the list have been crossed out, and
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union.
the special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. Remember, Leo, all items on the list have hundreds of documents, and the same you already went through the drawer. So
생각해보니까 뭐 이쪽에서 문 못 열어? 에이라이씨.
looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yes, it was probably you. The service cloak issued to you by your...
As your fingers touch the top,
옷 진짜 그지같이 입네.
this is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself.
If you must. But please, hurry.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. It's a black and white photo of a
Why did you take that picture of René? Fine. But let's move. I don't want to be...
노란 봉다리 둘 다 들고 있다. 노란 봉다리랑 노란 봉다리랑 그거 뭐고 손전등. 이거 올라가지나? 방법 없나 이거? 올라가는 거? 더블로 지금 들고 있어. 이거 어떻게 올라가냐?
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late, because Friesel was to your disappointment that after the magazine is divided into several sections. International Development Comrade. As you know, this journal, but like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are only 4 issues in. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary...
What do you expect? It was...
You flip back to the front. This section includes... You also... Whoa. Bear wrestling. It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, based on the Sapormat Sport Kelazinski. It's quite straightforward. A standard match featured according to the SRV's ministry. This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real... What are you? A statistician? Did the moral intern send you on a...
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I suppose that would be something.
You flip back to the front. It takes a moment. Why they decided. As you leaf through this the main feature, the Tip-Top Tournée, is an inter-Isolari racing series. Mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deal. You think you're settling in. Instead, you find yourself skipped. Where to even start? So, all of it, basically. Oddly enough, this article has there's no way. Have you ever met anyone more than that? They're likely anagram under capitalism. Thus, at the end of the day, it's the destruction of the... Sure, you think that's because you haven't been reading critically, but...
Come on. Can this article read your mind? Well, if I had...
You flip back to the... Unsurprisingly, you skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. One of the editorials proclaimed... You flip back to the front of... Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop.
진짜 왜 이렇게 조용하지 여기? 왜 아무것도 없지?
Container, I'll turn you nice.
The lyrics to this container, the accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice. He's...
Container, Evra. I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, personally mind. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean. Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister.
Mum had to leave my dad. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with...
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't...
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course.
에브라트
Mr.
사무실에
Everard is
있다.
in his office, where he are, but
정리기.
Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice... Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everard telling him to... I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some...
Easy, Leo. Let's...
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boy, but Mr. Everett and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad, Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. Yes, yes, everybody. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's...
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those douce sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to but I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always... Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy...
He respects that word. That's...
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up... If me missus and me was to have a child, that Dr. Lemaitre said so.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union?
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a...
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off.
뷰포트 리스트.
Perhaps something to consider.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers.
The containers in the yard are it's like there appear to be cisterns underneath the union container covers.
No, not really. Mister...
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside.
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's... Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keep... Oh, yes. I've been taking special... It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm. Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Oh, sure, mister.
He didn't actually understand what you meant.
Oh, that one. That should be him. Oh, you want Mr. Everett then?
에브라트.
He's an awfully nice fellow here. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother.
어디
Oh,
있는데,
Mr.
그래?
Everett is where he always is.
오케이.
Bye-bye now.
땡큐. 어이 왔네 여기까지. 안녕하신가.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk with great effort, with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi.
내가
It's good
드부아야?
of you two to stop by. I'm Everard
내 이름이
Clare,
드부아인갑네.
head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny fold,
You go ahead, detective.
whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me,
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most
oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain
가르트?
Lawrence. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a
가마.
few days.
Wow, that's 25 Yes, but you owe him for it.
Yes, I know, Lawrence. He's a real...
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
일단 돈은 받아두자.
Don't mention it.
He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about...
His slug-like lips move. The world is swallowed by when he said, don't worry. He actually meant, be very worried.
I know everything, Harry. It's not like you left it
Harry?
loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. Who does this guy think you are? Ronnie the rookie? You ain't worried about no lost gun, or unpaid bill, or forgotten name. The fat man does the same. Sinking good. Now lean in.
That we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. I do want you to feel at home.
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry.
I think we'd like to ask you.
Somehow you manage. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I...
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell.
Harry, you wound me, Harry.
He's hiding.
Thank you for your understanding.
You too, Lieutenant.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? It was a figure of... Anyway, I assure you, I am... Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everett, I call you Harry.
Harry 듣고
That's what the
내가.
hanged corpse called you. Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want...
I think the odds of that are...
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see,
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently...
words flow like a... I guess word is already... It's just a brown...
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten...
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind?
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Show... As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the census...
He got the name from the Census Bureau. And everything else from...
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the...
That means he doesn't really pity. The mystery of you.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
You might have noticed.
Oh my. Don't...
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up... But of course, all joking...
Okay.
Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here. You can find Luke down at the gates. But... You already knew that. Anyway, he's... Oh, of course. That's your main thing. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging.
Yes, that's...
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with...
문을
An
열어주면
excellent
되는데.
opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then,
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly...
You want to send someone a message that the police are working...
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy... Oh, no one's. It's just a
뭐?
weasel.
족제비?
A loud blabbering weasel. When we just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry.
일단 뭐
Fantastic. You
맡아보자.
can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operation. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or
들어가지
anything.
마라.
I just want that weasel to come home. I don't know what that means. You know what? Don't even tell me.
he sincerely has no idea what you...
Oh, that's very nice. I have one thing I want to make very clear, Harry. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with
되나?
her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nut vanished. Harry, the woman left her casserole. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better...
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter.
그래서
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. Harry! I have little people. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. Yes, yes. Low balling, of course.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Of course, Harry. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I must tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
뭔데 저게?
Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost...
it is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here. You're one of us now. A real...
오케이.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure. See you soon.
일단 스킬 포인트. 기념 수표 받았고 짭새 반값 전액. 일단 오늘의 반값 한 번 더 얻었고 가는 길에 형씨
Oh,
간다.
hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here, yes? Sure, mister. Absolutely. Oh, hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long...
물론 갔구만 내가. 아깐 없었는데 라이트 켜지긴 했네. 밤 된다고.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. Marsh. On. Arrête. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
뭐지? 저로 가볼 수 있나 내가?
And with the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane moving this container, of course.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers.
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one.
Is this like your thing you do? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked... We're not here to interact with
No reply. The knot produces a hot... You attempt to turn to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Why are you what? Now is not the time to get...
You attempt to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions. You're back before the car. You attempt to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions. You attempt to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it's despite the dirt that surrounds the doors.
Satisfied?
Try again. Just like that.
틀렸다.
You can't be...
역시 스텝 포인트 아껴놓길 잘했어. 이게 뭐야?
Yes?
뭔데 이거? 말이
man
걸어지네.
stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him.
자
The
보니까
feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves.
Welcome, welcome. Not too much actually. Just pleasantly surprised.
You can't hear him exactly yet.
Now, what can I do for you, gent? Who am I? Oh,
루스탐 디오도르.
it's Rustam Diodor.
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the
Harry.
RCM, and this is my partner.
Pleasure to meet you, Harry. Though I'm sorry to hear a good public servant like yourself is in service.
I can assure you, Mr. Diodor, that...
Oh, don't you worry, Lieutenant. I can tell a good man when I see.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this
새끼는
murder to
진짜.
solve, and yet you go around and you never...
It's quite alright.
이미
All I
부자였다.
did was take her fortune and invest it prudently.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot, but then once you've reached my position, some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And that's precisely, Harry.
Precisely.
You know, I hear people talk sometimes about economically a nightmare scenario, a world of slavery and violence. Which brings where we are right now, the free. It is truly, it's.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need.
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net
그래서
worth
세 개가
between
왜곡돼 있다고?
individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1 or 100%, it means one person. But the Weiss-Wiesemann 0.9, that's not good for you.
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a low... No, not really.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's
왜 나만
unusually
이렇게
well
보이지?
dressed for my...
Yes, I imagine that does look strange. Traveling. This is a great... By the way, let me know...
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Surens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
Revachol. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth is smart, you know? It also provides luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit, you know, what? No, I did not say that at all.
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect what...
It's perfectly alright. As you may know, as high net worth individual, here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
아무것도 못하죠.
Dear, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
제시도 할 수 없다고?
Thanks for
있어봐.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do?
If business planning were really your strong suit,
이거는 보고 싶다. 얘랑 얘기하는 거 다 보고 싶다.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
17%.
if business planning were really your strong suit, you
Welcome back, gentlemen.
빠세. 따세.
Business.
아하. 그렇다 개념만 찍고 싶진 않은데 그자? 얍.
If business.
야 개념아 옷 입자. 개념아 옷이라도 입자.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
얍.
Deploying high concept buzzword generator. All systems functional. Ready to engage in 3, 2, 1. It's time to disrupt the future. You've got to stay lean, innovative, and focus on what matters most.
A youth center, huh?
Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future? When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes?
You're deep into ultra-liberal.
Very impressive. You've got a knack. I don't normally do this without a flow. Here's the round of seed funding. This should be enough. Remember, it's not a handout. It's an investment.
The lieutenant, Stan, is he having a stroke?
Yes, sir. I'm a...
Now, was there anything else I could help you gentlemen with?
이걸 가지고 내가 뭘 해야 되나? 모자란 애들한테 투자를 어떻게 해야 되지?
Rusting control panel.
이거 하면
Crane
어떡해?
does not
안
return.
움직여? 이거 어떻게 먹는 거지 진짜?
This is the night.
이거 아까보다 많이 늘어나지 않나? 이거 왜 이렇게 많이 늘어났지? 아까도 이래 많았나? 아 까칠하기 새끼야 나온나? 다시 볼 건 없겠지?
The file cabinet stacked hundreds and the same you already went through. Remember, Leah, all items are drawn. So
이제 열렸고 야 족밥 새끼
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamique. Our personal dynamique has changed. A little. So it was. You bested me in race
You're so noble.
there's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both.
오케이
See that they stay here the whole time.
잠시 기다려줄게 그동안 뭔 일 생길지도 궁금하고 빨리 하고 와 이 새끼야 이제 나 꼬드길라나 얘들이
The woman's gaze.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Look at him. His craniometric. Cool. I like men with.
You hear that? That sound?
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everett's lapdogs! Is this where it's...
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth
뭐고?
appearing around the corner,
왔나?
approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. Farewell, ham sandwich.
햄 샌드위치. 이 정도면은 적당히 서로 좋은 인상으로 끝날 것 같은데. 나 어째 생각하노? 저 어떻게 올라가냐 근데 진짜. 아 뒤로 올라가는 일이 있나? 이렇게 해갖고 이렇게, 이건 어떻게 가는 건데? 야, 내가 좁힌 거 봤나 새끼야.
So, how'd you like...
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area? Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. Like men of the plane. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Polar weasel? Oh, what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know.
온실 근처
Our
지하실로 들어가.
organization is what...
Okay, but what...
The janitor gave it to me. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everett.
Los Ardis? They're an independent... They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it.
전부 다?
However, right...
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page. Communism is...
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. I guess you kind of get to be the...
By that, you...
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is reasonably lavish, sure. Besides, there are no non...
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him.
Sure thing.
This was great.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought. Why would Noble... Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organization...
He's not lying.
Understood.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
그래 내려가보자. 내려가는데 세이브하고. 야 옷이나 바꿔 입어라
Went native on the
새끼야.
chief, huh? Let's talk about our right to work.
아이 뭐 됐고 그러면.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
아싸. 이런 데가 있었구만.
A small cabinet on the wall. Their logo.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription
뭐
meds,
이래.
but we do have Nosafed. I don't know. I don't really know what hypnogamma. No.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Dramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1.
Saint Baptiste farm.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company. You see several packages. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over it.
What is what? If you want to buy one,
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
welcome to Frit. Feel free to.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grosh. I think they think that the extra.
The story goes that normal fritter with 2 T's.
Aha.
A men's workwear shop.
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. No.
We are not the fashion police.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She scrunches.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
이거
I don't really know anything. I'm not really. No. I don't know, really.
No need to worry.
Okay. Uh-huh.
A colorful the bottles wink there, in that dark green glove.
아 근데 이걸 바꾸는 의미가 있나? 가서 보여주는 게 낫지 않나?
Looking for something odd? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorry. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run a.
No. He means
a legendary, and not.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume.
Yeah, they're his little bitches.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating.
No, of course not. We are not peonies.
He's surprisingly good at this.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make.
I'm not scared of you or the
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor.
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out.
The lieutenant. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
어스름.
Looking for something odd?
마, 신하라 이겨라.
Men like this only respect 2 things.
Fuck you, I told you.
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Fucking homo cop. Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing.
When did she go away?
너 초록 색깔.
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now...
A small temple by the monument.
게이는 족 같은데.
Looking for something odd?
이씨 빨라
The
마.
main thing is to not.
딱 기다려라. 내 주변에 게이가 있는 건 상관없지만 난 게이가 아니라고.
Looking for something odd?
어?
The main.
Looking for something odd?
The main thing.
Looking for something odd?
The main
주사위 존나 못 굴리네.
Looking for something odd?
The main thing is
Looking for something odd?
the main thing is
아니 와 40% 넘잖아 확률.
Looking
이거
for
진짜 아니지
something
않나?
odd?
men like this only respect to
어딨냐고 씨발놈아.
there.
Look, fuck you, man.
When did she?
I don't know. I don't pass the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now,
A small temple.
일단 가서 마 여자 나와봐라. 아 시체 보고 올까? 시체부터 보고 올까? 아 일단 문 잠그지 마라.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? You must be kidding, right? But this establishment...
Frit, near the gates. They'll exchange it.
아니 씨발 이거 봐.
Then why are you... Can I help
어차피
you?
그래야 되는 거.
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night. But remember, you'll need another 20 real.
You know, there might be other places to sleep on this coast.
개족 같은 이거 아 이거 뭔가 놔두고 싶은데 내려왔네. 이개 존마 이 새끼는 왜 안 자는데?
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field of
The RCM's 4
The fuck are they on? Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle an honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. You are.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's height.
Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of... That's right.
Yeah, we got this. We're smart. The dead man stares in silence. Above those, an 11 field.
That's you.
Harry Dubois.
The corpse is indifferent.
KK5.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your...
And what...
HDB 40 1015. It's understated.
Good. Let's go with that. NA. NA.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to air. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive skin, from the Isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well the pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neat.
Fucky fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by...
HDB 41.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the...
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to,
저 부츠를 갖고
you
가서
have
뭐하지?
deserved them more than anyone else.
저거 내가 갖고 가서 뭐해? 아니 저걸 별로 탐나지가 않는데.
The boot has a serial number. It's if tattoos. The upper torso is covered in... The assistant has a color... The deceased has a belt for airlifting, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature
그러니까
below freezing.
내가 입어서 뭐 하겠노 그걸. 그것보다 난 저걸 단서라도 이용해가지고 뭐좀 해결하고 싶은데 하나라도 빠지는 거 없이. 아마 그렇겠지?
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male
난
pattern
써먹고 싶다.
baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living, but the stench is... There's brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Lividity is consistent with hanging.
Fucking low velocity. Talking shit about...
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. Still wiring. There's too much of it.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to...
See?
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. After some deliberation, you snap. The knot is slack.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin. Above and chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is...
No! It's gonna... I fucking...
Genitalia is male and unremarked.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length. The dead man's penis...
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades.
We have... Last item. Hands.
The hand is surprisingly heavy to lift.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing... Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth.
With his eyes almost closed, you hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received a dent.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. It's hard. Once more, you taste inside.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you hepatobiliary?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gall. Nothing in your alcohols.
Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Unless you haven't...
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt process. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Nothing. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next in. So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone.
At maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have...
Right. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck. With a gap
정수동
in the
상관없음?
nape measuring, let's... I see hemorrhaging on the skin.
손톱
above and
확인
below the
안
ligature
됐다고.
mark.
그러면
Below the
이것도
note, two customer... Think for a moment.
이것도 아니잖아.
A column of cold air.
그러면 대체 뭔데?
encircles you. A small green enclosure. Higher yet, coalition airships guard over the 21 cordons.
You will.
Why do you say that? Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blood. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause. We also requested a toxicological. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them. I need a copy of that autopsy form for processing.
You tilt your head. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
What was that, pale? The corpse is...
I'm a joke. Look, there is nothing. A killer. Go ahead. What do you ask me more? Because coming right up, Corporal Rooney laughed at me in Provocapo. Sure, looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes. Ha!
But something is on its way. Something.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also.
지각. 지각 올라가는 게 있나? 없지.
The man is... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep
뭔가가
breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organ. His fingernails have turned...
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in Hey! Wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building? Now, that's an overstatement. It's not actually... Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking...
The man is... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
한 번만 더 해보자. 한 번도 안 되면 냉장고에 넣고.
The man... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
뭔가 될 것 같은데. 그런 거 없네.
You run your hands over the victim's... The genitals in his breeches.
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are... Hey! Now, detective, I've rarely been disappointed by this. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking...
Both cables are unplugged. Somewhere, a machine hum. The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the...
It's certainly an...
Your visual confirms. You could fit...
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the...
The body is heavier than you expected, and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the butcher. Then 10 more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. As impressive as the fridge is, at least we've stopped the body from decomposing.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting. You touch the dead man.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
이거 할 때마다 저게 줄어져. 아, 돌겠네. 시간 몇 시고? 10시 50분. 자러 들어간다고 하고 가기 전에 마, 내가 네 이름 안다 이제 새끼야.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting? I suggest not wasting time on.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. I said.
Even though she.
No. Talk. I am not.
You could be, Liz.
Even a mod.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover.
So fucking.
No.
This is not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
What you want is of no significance. I suggest.
Even though she has excellent.
You are not here to chat up aggressive.
So you.
Listen.
Fuck it.
So ask what you came to ask. Or get back to your commanders. I don't need privatization peon.
Behind the dockworkers, a sea.
Hey.
Looks
보스
like
만나고 왔다.
the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good.
About fuck.
에헤이, 별 바뀌는 게 없네. 아, 뭐 일단
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You see a heavy steel door. The door doesn't.
Can I help you? You're already set for the night. Your door is unlocked. Do I have...
It's not a
Am I where... Am I because I'm...
Play it calm. This...
Like what?
The door is... This door can still... The lieutenant give...
자 이제 뭐 자러 가자고.
The fan stands. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
자 이제 다시 나가보자. 자, 다시 왔다.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare? Of course, Detective. I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. How could I stop you? Are we not...
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to...
Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything... Word has...
One of the tall buildings overlooking the round.
Until you come up with something at that...
She simply nods.
Of course, Detective. What would you like to know? Good. What we do.
There was a touch of discomfort.
The Pine, and that is...
The Wild Pines group is one.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that 20 billion, a conglomerate the size of the Wild Pine.
She nods.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day.
It remains a mystery. What?
Are you sure you're sure? Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all... Muindi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, an oceanic isola. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest. Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale...
The negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being. No, Detective. We're safe. An uproar of matter, darling. Imagine a grey coronal mist. It's difficult to describe. The further into Pale you travel,
There's a slippery article in there.
Pale when it's particular. This territory... Oh, it is so...
A squall of birds.
It is possible to force dimension, but it is still hard for humans. Extensive. Some say the damage stems from... They call it the blend over of the self.
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say it feels terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's more for her. Way more.
No, nameless detective of the citizens' militia.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well.
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships.
You should ask the Pal driver about this. See what she says.
Up to my gills, officer. Entreponetics is the scientific study of the Pale.
They had not traveled the entire
There are signs of Nothing. We remain powerless before hybrid airships detect. In essence, we throw them in, and then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone.
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is... What do you think, Detective? Precisely. One of the few measurable effects. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left... Most people, and indeed, I suggest it doesn't look like you're doing the same. Yes. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale? You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know, I hope so. I truly do. You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it. Glad to have been of assistance. That's the man who was killed. Better not tie the forestay to the...
Wow. So someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, no need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone. Good, of course.
아까 철학이 있을 때 아파트도 한번 봤어야 되는데. 아 참.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Because you see it. All the other walls on all the other.
Oh, Wallfather.
Absolute. Cindy the Scum has a. Yes. Great thinking.
이런 식으로 되는구만. 자, 그러면 이거 11시 반이니까 일단 자러 가긴 가야 될 것 같고. 수표는 안 바꾸는 게 좋을라나. 몇 시든 뭐. 7시. 1시간 반. 2시간. 일단 여기까지 하고 남은 시간은 통화 소설이나 할까? 어이없을 때 두드렸나 보자.
The door is still, this door.
난 오늘 조금 풀었다. 오케이. F4.